Hi Donnas, if you'd like to come on in and have a seat for some symbolic support, I have an Inkblot here made in your name and essence. If you'd like to take a screenshot to see any shapes or symbols that stand out and speak to your psyche and psychic senses. Source Donna, thank you so much for being my muse, and thank you all for holding space so I can share my insights. I'm going to take a moment to cleanse the palette, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. And we're here with the muse of Donna. Thank you. Links below if you'd like to be my muse and request your own Rorschach. Let's see what's going on here for Donna. I'm actually going to flip it for a second. I don't know if that's a porcupine or a possum or a gerbil or a hamster, like something in light. And it's like a small creature, but the adorable thing is that the noses are together, almost like sniffing each other out in this light. I'm also seeing what is that? Dustbuster? I'm seeing a dustbuster. It's a dustbuster. Okay, there's a connection somewhere in this light that is slow and steady, but it's long. I'm seeing two turtles there. And those porcupine, possums, something along that line. So they're really, really cute. But they tend to have like a longer snout type thing and then like this little pink nose. Almost something about slippers as well. Just like, whoop, slippers. It's an old soul connection. I'm seeing eyes with tears, but they're not overly close anymore. But they're also, okay, your expression of such is up here. And then also in like the hand space, it feels like empathy. I don't know if something has happened where it has heightened your empathy. And it's something that I feel like you're working with others, whether it's friends, family, personal, professional. There's empathy, like an empathy elf, And way, way deep in this darkness, if I may, oh, you see it better in the light. There is like angel wings. That feels like grief, given the inspiration. And it is being moved through like a... Okay, so two things are coming out. Like a magic carpet. And if I was seeing a movie where, like, say there was a scarf wrapped around someone's neck and then like a wind gust blew by and suddenly the scarf unraveled and blew away in the wind. And that's a feeling. I'm trying to put words to a feeling. Does that make sense? But it's still magic carpet, like it's very fluid in this moving through. But there is and has been work. I'm also seeing a cat, whether it's an actual cat or I'm diving in a little bit deeper here. Let's see. Okay. So you know how cats, I don't actually know factually what their whiskers do, like what their radius is and, you know, the enhanced abilities they have because of these whiskers. So you might have a cat around you that is very telling, like a communicator, of when spirit energy is around you, someone's trying to connect with you, because the cat can see it. And I can see it up here, like the whiskers, and the cat can see when the eyes are closed. So this might be in sleep or in resting moments, because I feel like I just cried, or I would like to contemplate and reflect. It's actually quite positive, even though tears may fall from my face, but I'm joyfully reflecting, lovingly reflecting, even though tears are falling. And the cat, whether it's of your own senses because you can sense somebody around you, and or the cat is almost like validating this presence. Like, if I'm being very honest, when you're in moments of grief, in the moment I'm feeling it now, it's as though with those angel, and it just transformed into like an owl bat. There's a place of wisdom that knows that you're grieving with light and love, versus I may be not past, but I'm talking about me as Steph right here and now. I'm not necessarily feeling distraught. Does that make sense? So I still grieve, but there's a wisdom that has worked its way through and is still working its way through. And it seems to be somewhere in the subconscious as well, that some sort of knowing or understanding, and I keep hearing trust. And something about this cat. I don't know. Whiskers. I'm going to plop this down for a minute here. I'm going to add on some zombie oracle, if you don't mind, while we're here. And we're here for Donna, as I keep scrying. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, of course. It's always very awkward. I never remember. I'm seeing when I was a kid, they had this doll at some point in time, and it was called a water baby. It's my water baby, squiggles and jiggles and always giggles. It's my water baby. That's what I'm seeing right in there. Here's two. Okay. And then where your empathy is, these little elves, the legs that I'm seeing come out, two hands feeding two babes. Something about this cat, hilarious. It just keeps popping through. And now I'm seeing this cat smile. Like, I can see these cheeks. Okay, I got distracted. Sorry. I'm wandering down to the bottom. So yes, in confirmation, one has disconnected and one is still connected in regards to the water babies. And when I'm saying water babies, I don't know if I'm actually seeing a water birth, or again, with all this empathy, that there could be in your children, like they're highly gifted empathically. I keep being drawn back up to the light where I was seeing those porcupines or opossums, the slippers, and the shop vac. I don't know why that keeps like reoccurring. Maybe like cleaning something up, or that was maybe like a coping mechanism. I'm thinking back to like when we had a dustbuster, and now I like really appreciate the thought of a dustbuster. Is there like a small vacuum? There's a rose petal. Rose petals. Rose petals. I don't know if somebody leaves you spiritually, symbolically, from spirit rose petals. Okay, so the rose petals I'm seeing down in here, and then it branches out to like this orange, and I'm going to wander through that veil here of gray. Feel like collectively everyone is very empathic in nature, and there's a lot of energy and emotions, but necessarily navigating those emotions, it's like one's very, I'm going to say passive, but I don't mean that in, sorry, there's, my neighbor's building a house, so there's banging like a woodpecker. That's what I'm hearing, like a woodpecker, like, hello, hello. It's like one of the children, say, is more pink and passive in just their presence. I'm just, it's feeling like I'm just, hi, I'm here, and that's cool. And then there's another one that is very creative, and that's all the orange I'm feeling. This sacral energy could be a place that they're working through to navigate the added emotions or their gift of sensitivity, which is like a superpower. But I feel like it might be construed as a curse versus a blessing. But they're the rose sister is like sending out energy, getting really, really chilly, is sending out energy like a butterfly in the spirit realm to the creative. Does that make sense? Do you know what I'm saying? So this, I don't know if like there's in every family, there's always that ongoing joke, well, so-and-so's mom's favorite or so-and-so's, dad's favorite. That's not what I'm saying, but there's a situation, something has happened where that, whether it was just because in a resonance, like if you're gonna, somebody around you that is more like you, so it challenges you to both grow differently, where somebody might work more subtly, right? It's just different strengths. That's how I'm feeling it. But this flower petal person, daughter, is sending out immense amount of transformative butterfly energy. So the butterfly might mean like where, okay, so I'm not going to get stuck on that. I was just like going to ramble through the different symbols, like the cat or the opossum or whatnot. The flower petal is sending out lots of love and light to the creative. And I don't know why I keep saying that, because I feel like it might be misunderstood. Somebody is like saying, well, I'm not creative, but you are. It's almost like it's obvious. It's just a matter of maybe channeling it to, or how one channels it and trying to navigate that at this point in time. Anyway, so this flower petal shell sister sends it right to like the belly of one, and to help her exhaust, like to get rid of things, right? So she is sending things, that sacral energy, to help move through all this and create something. Almost like I just heard in my head, create you. And then like exhale, inhale, exhale, like helping her to breathe. Does that make sense? To breathe and to feel light. She's sending light, even if it's being received like fog or She's feeling foggy. The petal, which is now turning into a oops, it's still wet. It's okay. So she's showing me. Okay, so like not like a bust per se, but definitely a chest plate in its feminine nature, and it comes down, and then there's two lungs there, right? And I keep hearing, I'm breathing with you. And I really, really want to cry right now. I'm breathing with you. Like we're breathing the same air, even though the spirit doesn't necessarily need oxygen per se, but it's the spirit. It's like of Christmas. You don't need to believe in Santa Claus to believe in the spirit of giving and receiving, the inhale, exhale. And she's sending this. So you're breathing together. And this cat is quite happy. Okay, I'm going to flip it to win it here. And I'm going to start. Oh my goodness. All right, thank you so much. Let's get in here. I'm seeing a Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't know if that symbol means anything to anyone. And also a troll doll. Is it a troll doll? I believe it's a troll doll. The Hunchback of Notre Dame is just, there might have been a bearing of weight. A bearing of weight in regards to something. Okay, so I'm seeing like two of them, but it's interesting, even though it's an Inkblot, like I'm way, way deep in here. One has a tree off to the side, and the other one has a sickle. In a very weird way, I almost want to say the apple of one's eye is both an angel and the devil. Now the devil could be Capricorn or the devil. It's just like symbolic archetypes, right? Maybe the way you perceive things at different times of your day, week, month, or year, moving through any sort of grief and gratitude quite clearly. This is not I'm not getting any sensation where I'm at right now. It's almost like the previous journey is, like if I was looking at files that were like secret and a bunch of information would be blacked out. And that's how I'm seeing it. So, and that's fine because you're like, that's not for everyone. That's not where, it's also not where I'm at now. I lost my train of thought in wandering over there, but that's okay. So like the angel and the devil, it's like whether your perspective is of that or the apple of your eye is two. Like I can see like an apple core, and it could be your two children, where one generally is more perceived as maybe light or dark, and that's not in an actuality. This is some sort of perception, or the one may appear, like physically appear. Like even though I'm wearing black and I'm in a dark room, I am of light, and I have that understanding. And vice versa. Somebody could look all light but feel dark inside and feel alone and be dealing with some sort of mental mind where it's not seen, but their passivity is perceived as, I keep hearing the word like fragile. King of Hazards. They might have been tied up in something, including yourself. Sorry, I'm not entirely sure where I jumped over to, but we'll see if anything clears up or simply inspires us along the way. There's that busty type thing. Yeah, there's something about the light and dark being perceived as dark, but but there's a lamp, and then somebody else who's perceived more dark. But somebody was suffering. That's what I'm hearing, like a subtle suffering. And if that could even be now amongst your inkblot, that grief still like subtly comes in. And it's like you're chained to it for the rest of your life. And then you're like, well, how do I... But there's some sort of... With that angel wing in there, even amongst darkest days, or this, the deep quiet that you kind of deal with this, there is light. There is light. Like there's no... I'm not getting the sensation that you purely succumb to it. There's some sort of wisdom. That troll doll is really, really curious, but it's also something else, and maybe you can pinpoint... Oh, there it is. What it may be. It's a guardian of a girl... But I don't know if it's like, okay, so I just heard again, like gremlins. They're nice during the day, but don't get them wet. You know, don't feed them past midnight, this or that. Like there's trigger points. Donna. There is, how do I say? I'm seeing like claw marks. I'm also seeing a little furry... I want to say it's almost like a piglet or something like that. What are like a therapy animal or something like that? Ace of Cups and the Star. I want to know, thank you, in here, okay? So see all that coloring? And all the coloring. And where... there it is right there. This is how I'm seeing that troll doll and all the orange. It's some sort of peace of mind, sadness, to satisfaction. And I feel like this is fluid. Who is this? There's somebody else that's stepping forward. Sorry if I just like got completely distracted. There's somebody else stepping forward. I don't know if it's your mother or somebody else. That was curious. They popped in as I was talking about the mind. Okay, so the gray matter. It's in the Ace of Cups, but it's almost as if like, I don't know if I'm wandering into the side or to the rabbit hole where somebody might have been suffering in silence, or something with the brain, something with the mind. I don't know if it's like actual, something happened causing like a brain damage or a tumor, or I'm or like a mental illness, or if I'm amidst your energy, Donna, and the gray matter of the mind, and it's kind of like your white light of what you've been through with like gray hair, but you're still very creative about it. Like you have a particular, what I'm sensing is you have a particular creative way of thinking. Maybe this is your higher self that stepped forward, because they just like popped right out of this gray matter in this gray mind. And when this little conversation of this angel and devil type thing, could be of one's mind as well, this like oversoul comes through. So it's like conscious, subconscious, right? Right or wrong, this or that, whatever landscape of judgments and discernment come through. And then it's like seeing this floating wise one come in and go, what are you talking about? Let me in on this. I'm also seeing a horse with its nose. It's almost like a statue of a horse. Those porcupine things too could have been horse-like, but I don't want to get stuck on that. These are like kind of like seahorses. Defend to the end the worthwhile. This is that owl bat inside of you. Like through the grief. It's in there. Not even, I don't want to say it's just grief. Your ability to be very, very strong while here. But with the ability to cry when pressure needs to be shed, because it's valuable to do that. And that wisdom, like I said, remember when we were talking earlier about the grief and feeling those in like maybe darker silent moments, or maybe you have particular friends that you go out to that, and or therapy or whatnot, whatever the case may be, or simply it's solo. Your wisdom is knowing to release. There's that owl, the owl bat. It serves you. The star was there as well. I don't know if, I'm not trying to be right. This is just honestly what's coming through. So I'm going to relish and lean into that she who passed was the star of the family is how it is possibly perceived. And I feel like I kind of jumped into the sibling realm. Like, well, my sister was the star, or the likable one, or the one who could get along with everybody. It was just different. It's not a competition. It's just different. Just different. The art of seduction. Like, it was just different in the way interactions were had. I'm not going to justify and say it's right or wrong. But each energy is bringing a particular magic to the family, magic to the trifecta of 3 generations, 3 women, specifically in regards to the lineage. And I'm hearing if there's a darker haired daughter or child, and like touching the star of the light of the star sister. And I only say the star sister again in regards to general reflection of light. And then I just heard, give me a second. The sister in light pointing to the sister here, and it's always been you. You were my light. You were my other slipper. Oh, I apologize. Sorry, not sorry, but it was so endearing. And even I want to be clear when I'm saying light and dark, there's so many aspects to that, but it's in the simplistic way I can say the daughter of dark because she's still here in density, right? And one is of light with spirit, and just imagining those two material realms. That's all it is. I'm not trying to determine or apply personality traits, emotional traits, or expressive traits, though they may or may not be there. But there's just something about the simplistic nature of one feeling dark, and yet the light is looking upon her like, you are my light. It's so sweet. It's so sweet. Okay. Okay. Because if somebody else had the perception about like the star in the family or the more likable one or this, that, or the other, and I'm not saying that's necessarily true. It's because, again, I'm not looking to be right. It's just as a sibling, you can, at different points in your life, I can view my siblings at different times resonating with my parents differently, or resonating with my mom differently, or my dad differently. And it's like, oh, well, they're getting along more effortlessly, where I seem to be challenging, or I'm not understanding something, and it's just like in different timing. That's all it is. In the way of my perception, I'm seeing it. And the sister in spirit is handing like the badge of the star to say it's you. And I'm breathing with you. I breathe with you. Almost in a very weird way. Like they could be twins. Could be twin souls. Could actually be twins. Something so similar, yet so different, yet so similar, if you can capture these private moments. Okay, we're getting ready to close out here for Donna, as I feel like I've rambled on a lot, and I apologize, but do hope this is resonating. Mother Earth, you are the mama. You are the mama. And you're willing to defend to the end your lineage. I'm seeing all the lines of like the garden there, and support them. Support them equally in, I don't want to say light and dark again, in density and in divinity. Because divinity is working with the density here to re-inspire and breathe that divinity, and vice versa. Metatron rainbow, always open. Thank you. That's that bridge. And even though I'm relating this to sisters, because I feel like this is very twin oriented in some way, shape, or form, and I believe this is because of your lineage. And I keep seeing the triangle, like mother, maiden, crone, or the power of threes, so mote it be, like that kind of thing. And between 1 and 1, there's a rainbow, and that rainbow connects the conversation of these sisters. But you, Mom, are the sky that they can shine. Does that make sense? You are the earth, and you are the earth and the sky in which those lines of your lineage can communicate and exist and grow. Like, you are not just a mom getting groceries, this, that, or the other. This is a whole world. Does that make sense? I'm not sure, but it feels fantastic. Sorry. Okay. We are closing out here, Donna. I'm going to take this hoopla here. We have lilac, higher realms and magic, the divinity, the chakra body, also falling in line with that Metatron rainbow of always open, white, purity and innocence, and warrior of light. Okay. If I may, I'm very connected to the two, to the sisters, to the daughters, in one way, shape, or form. It's almost, if I could say, one is like an indigo child, one is a crystal child. One is a warrior and a fighter, and one is like a nun. You know what I mean? Like they would take different roles in applying the same passion. And that comes from you, this power. And while you're moving through sorrow, your warrior child, oh, my stomach just went whoop. When maybe it's now to work with the spirit sister, or the sister in spirit. It's like she will rise up from the emotions and be like, yes, I am here. I feel like you're going to witness magic from the daughter in density with you. And I want it to be understood that it will be cultivated with her own strength and with her own freedom to choose and to be passionate. But there is a diamond, maybe the star. She's actually going to be able to use that light to help heal and be open to healing with. There's always like the sensation that, not always, don't get me wrong, that those in spirit maybe aren't grieving. And I don't think that's true. I think here there's an understanding that grief is just different up there. It can't be expressed as tangibly, but it may rain around you. And those are the tears of the spirit's grieving as well, missing as well, but sending it as a cleansing rain to nourish your land and your lineage and your life and your life. Like the wind may be the dust buster, clearing and sweeping things through. Like it comes through differently. So there's this non-aloneness that is amongst this entire reading. And I'm seriously blabbering on for a long time, and I do apologize. But I'm going to close out with the whole light body and chakra healing, maybe some energy work, or an alternative way of healing, or working with the artistry of life, interacting with life. Because this higher realm of magic, this feels like you are the landscape of living. And see how there's, the moon there, and the moon is in the higher, okay, I won't get all discombobulated in there. But everyone's still home. Everyone's still home. They're just in different parts of the castle right now, but the path to connection is through the light body, through the rainbow, through communication, through the elements, through breathing. And a cat. And maybe like a doll. And remember when we were talking about, like, I wasn't sure, I was seeing something else? That is what I was seeing. This might be your higher self, your guardian, or somebody else in spirit. You're next. It's like I can see triangles over triangles over triangles. Mother, maiden, crone. Mother, maiden, crone. Mother, maiden, crone. Yes. All right, Donna, may this serve you well. I apologize that I blabbered on, but it was truly an emotional read, and I hope this serves you well. And thank you for your support as well to help keep the ink flowing and intuition growing. Thank you.